Welcome back, folks. As you can tell, I'm out here and it's kind of chilly out, and that's kind of bad for a few reasons, but one of those reasons is because I can't get the sap to run. As you know, all my maple trees are tapped. I'm well underway with my 2020 maple syrup season, and yet here I stand in the shop instead of out there in the bush collecting the sap. The temperature is not quite cooperating for me, and as you can tell down here in the shop, you guys can see that is ice. The temperature has to get below zero, and preferably for me, -5 Celsius, or even maybe a touch less than that during the nighttime, and then back up above zero, usually around 5 degrees Celsius, thereabouts in the daytime. That's in order for the sap to run. I have not had very many good runs this year. In fact, I think I've had a trickle for 2 days, and that's about it. I'm itching to get out there and try my new evaporator. And in fact, I want to show you a little project I'm going to tackle today with the help of the dog over there. Yeah, who am I kidding? Without his help, but with his supervision, I'm going to tackle this project today involving my evaporator. And where I've got it set up is right where I'm likely going to be making my syrup. So I'm going to be evaporating the sap right here. What I'm going to do to make my life a little bit easier so that I don't have to ladle cold sap into hot, preferably boiling sap pans, is I'm going to make a little trickle system. So you guys saw with my evaporator when I built it that I have 2 spots at the back of the evaporator that I'm going to put preheating trays, or I'm going to put these little buffet trays, and I'm going to put some sap straight off the tree into to preheat before going into whoa. Hold on. Okay. Before going into my larger trays or my larger pans. So I'm going to have that preheating set up here. Sap will get warm, and then it'll go into my actual boiling trays or boiling pans, where I'm going to get rid of some of that water en route to becoming maple syrup. Now, I don't have the pans here right now, obviously, but when I do, I want a way that I can have the cold sap quickly, or I guess not quickly, trickle rather, down into the pan. So I want a way that I can very easily have the sap heat up and then make its way into the pan without my interference. I don't want to have to ladle it into that pan. How I'm going to go about doing that is to rig up a little bit of a valve system so that I have a copper pipe from here over to another pan and then to a valve. The valve I'll just open just a little bit. That valve will then allow the sap that's warming in these 2 pans, there's going to be one there, to trickle out into the boiling pans. That sounds like a heck of a lot of information, probably too much. Well, I don't quite know how this is going to go. I got a bright idea and thought, heck, got a few parts kicking around, might as well try it. That sort of is how many of my projects go. So we're going to see how it works out here. I'm heading back into the shop because I got everything set up here and ready to go. So I got a little makeshift workbench here. I've got this tray, and I've got, where is it here? I've got this tray. These are going to be the 2 I use. And what I'm going to do, as I mentioned, I'm going to drill a hole in the side of that so that I can put this connection. What this connection is basically 2 pieces. One piece is the important end. This is the piece that a 1/2-inch piece of copper pipe can fit into, and I can solder in place. That's going to more or less sit just like that, but obviously down here. Then the copper pipe will come out, do a little loop-de-loo, hook up with the other pipe, and go to a valve. That's the plan. I got all the tools here. I got an idea. Whether it'll work or not is another story. So hold on. I appreciate all you guys being here, and hopefully this works. Now you can imagine where they're going to go, and I need to connect them with some 1/2-inch pipe. And I had this lying around, and I realized it's getting a bit oxidized here, but it'll do the trick. So I need to first put these pans over on the, what do you call it? What do you call it? Evaporator. Put them on the evaporator and get a measurement, and then we'll cut the pipe. Like so. Make sure they're positioned. They look good to me. We'll go center to center. Center to center. And would you look at that? We'll go an even 19 inches. Okay, what was I saying? 19 inches? So let's square up that one side, and I can't find my bigger pipe cutter, so we're using this little thing. Okay, this is going to take me a while. Let's do some movie magic here. Okay, this piece is cut to length, and oh, I was supposed to hide that. John, if you're watching, don't laugh. This is technically the right way. The right way for out here might not be the right way for your home, but yeah, anyways, you'll see this cut here. This cut's probably not perfectly flat, and that's because I did use the hacksaw there, but that's how it goes. So I put these on a moment ago just to test fit them. What I got to do now is go out, and I'm going to try to reuse this valve because I'm sort of piecing things together here. It's not like I got a big operation, so let's go and see what this is going to look like out here. And Cody, you're still holding down the fort? Good boy. Okay, so that's gonna go like that, and I gotta figure out a way to get the tap to come out and drip into this first pan. And I don't really have much option. It's gonna be coming out on an angle, unless I cut it right there, but yeah, whatever, we'll just have it come out on an angle. Yeah, we'll rig it up like that. And although I could explain to you how I'm going to solder, I would rather just show you, because let's be honest, I'm no plumber, and if you want plumbing advice, talk to a guy like an actual plumber, like my friend John. This is definitely not something you want to go DIYing on your house, and next thing you know, you got leaky pipes behind walls. So got all my pieces cleaned off, and I got the inside of my corners cleaned out, and I've got my flux and my solder, and I'm just using this for my torch. Look at that. It's actually working. That's better. Actually looks like I know what I'm doing. Don't be fooled though, I'm no plumber. Anyways, got this mostly licked here. I think I'm just going to check one of the joints that I kind of botched, and then we'll go out and we'll make sure it fits, and I think we're good to go. All right, folks, well, I don't know if I'm going to call this thing a thing of beauty yet, but it's done. As you can see there, I've got both pans. These are my preheating pans connected together. I can then put my sap directly from the trees into here, and then I can adjust the valve here and get a nice trickle into my evaporating pan, and hopefully that doesn't disrupt the real good boil. At least that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it won't disrupt that boil. Time will tell. I'm hoping to get back out here real soon. And I'm just having a look around. Well, the trees aren't doing much and the weather's not quite cooperating, so it'll be a little bit while longer, but I will get this thing, hopefully, out into action very soon. As you saw, my plumbing skills, they're okay, but I definitely wouldn't be doing any plumbing jobs for anybody anytime soon. If you got any hints or tips or anything you saw me doing that you think I could improve upon, I am all ears, because this took way longer than I expected. But if you're good at soldering and you can wrangle together some copper pieces and a valve, you can probably put this together for a few bucks, and hopefully it'll make your life easier, just like I'm hoping it's going to make my life easier. Anyways, that's going to do it for me here today. Hopefully I can spend, well, just a few more minutes actually boiling sap as opposed to working on the sap boiling contraption in the future. And I'm hoping that happens real soon. So until then, you guys all take care and come on back next time. I look forward to seeing you, and hopefully we'll be boiling. See you then.